Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. X-76ers $180 million wing dubbed Heat's top target in free agency. The Miami Heat don't have much cap flexibility this offseason, but one of the best front office groups in the NBA has found ways to make magic during the roster-building summer months before. Dan Favale of Bleacher Report on June 29 named former Philadelphia 76ers forward Tobias Harris as Miami's top trade target as the league's free agency period opens, even though he is coming off of a 5-year, $180 million deal in Philly. The end to his run with the Philadelphia 76ers wasn't pretty, but combo forwards who can, conceptually, hold up defensively, hit threes and generate their own scoring opportunities typically fetch way more than the mid-level exception, $5.2 million. Mind you, Miami might not even be able to offer Harris that much. Haywood Highsmith and Caleb Martin, player option, are set to enter unrestricted free agency. Keeping just Martin alone could vault the Heat into the second apron. There is no way in hell that Harris's stock has plummeted to the point of accepting a minimum deal. But hey, perhaps Miami can sell him on a fairly prominent role and the chance to rehab his longer-haul value. Failing that, if he's willing to sign for the mini-MLE, the Heat have avenues they can explore to ensure it's available. Tobias Harris of the Philadelphia 76ers. Harris spent 6 years in Philadelphia, during which he averaged 17.2 points, 6.5 rebounds, 3.1 assists, and 1.0 steals per game while shooting 36.9% from behind the arc on 4.1 attempts per contest, according to Basketball Reference. Miami bested Harris and the 76ers in the Eastern Conference semifinals in 6 games during the 2022 playoffs. The two teams met in the postseason only that single time during Harris's 6-year run in Philadelphia. That said, the Heat often got the better of Harris when squaring off against the 76ers. Miami posted a record of 10-8 against Philly over the team's last 10 meetings, while Harris put up numbers well below his season/career averages in points and rebounds with the Sixers when matching up with the Heat. In his last 10 games against Miami, which covers a duration stretching back to May 2022, Harris averaged just 13.6 points and 6.1 rebounds. The constant hype surrounding Philly due to the presence of Joel Embiid and a host of other high draft picks who arrived, faded and ultimately departed from the city of brotherly love, Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons, to name two, has also led to a rivalry between the two cities. The Heat have gotten the better of the Sixers in that regard, earning 3 trips to the Eastern Conference Finals and 2 NBA Finals berths over the last 5 years, while the 76ers haven't gotten out of the second round of the playoffs during that span. Jimmy Butler of the Miami Heat. Despite the disdain Heat fans might have for the Sixers, their fans, and their current and former players, it would be a mistake to dismiss Harris out of hand as a player who can help Miami, assuming the franchise can find some way to bring him into the fold despite a hellacious-looking cap sheet heading into 2024-25. Team President Pat Riley has said that dealing Jimmy Butler is not on the table, though the two sides have been unable to agree to terms on a contract extension, conversations around which Butler recently shut down by saying he wouldn't sign a new deal anywhere until next summer. At that point, Butler will be able to opt out of the final year of his contract and enter unrestricted free agency, which means Miami could watch their best player walk for nothing in return. If the Heat believe that outcome is likely, it wouldn't be surprising if Riley changes his tune and tries to deal Butler either this summer or ahead of next season's trade deadline. Harris won't make it through the next several weeks without landing a contract somewhere, but if the Heat somehow decide to wipe Butler's nearly $49 million off their cap sheet before Harris signs, he could end up in play. Miami Heat fans question if social media post by Tyler Herro was venting frustration. Social media is often a blessing and curse for celebrity athletes. The positive is they have a direct link to the fans. The negative is fans have a direct link to them. Miami Heat guard Tyler Herro is learning his posts on social media are scrutinized at every turn. The latest for Herro was when he liked a post that appeared to take a shot at Heat forward Jimmy Butler for taking off too many games during the regular season. He also liked a tweet that read, "Free Tyler from this toxic fanbase at Miami Heat." Once it was discovered, it was met with analysis from Herro fans and critics across the internet. Who knows what Herro was trying to say, or even if he was saying anything. The like could have been an attempt to poke humor at the post. Or it could have been a cryptic way of saying he wasn't a fan of Butler taking off games last season. Butler is coming off missing 22 games this past season. Some were for injuries. Some were for personal reasons. And some were sort of like maintenance games. Butler's absence left the scoring ode on Herro and Bam Adebayo. The debate reached its peak when it appeared Heat team president Pat Riley addressed the issue without mentioning any player by name. To me, it sends a message that it's okay to sit when you're not 100% when no one in this league is 100%, Riley said. The opening of the NBA offseason has been relatively quiet for the Miami Heat. Perhaps a bit too quiet. The team brought back forward Kevin Love and lost free agent guard DeLon Wright to the Bucks. Neither move was earth-shattering, and given the way the rest of the Eastern Conference has shaped up, there is some concern about how far back from the top of the conference the Heat have slid. The loss of Wright, though, could mean an opportunity for incumbent point guard Patty Mills to stick around on a low-cost deal. That's the view from beat reporter Ira Winderman of the Sun-Sentinel. After Wright's departure, Winderman wrote on Twitter/X, "So DeLon Wright turned into a short-term rental for Heat. Patty Mills remains a Heat option at point. No true point guard on current Heat roster." And in the Miami Herald, reporters Barry Jackson and Anthony Chang wrote, "The Heat will need to find another veteran backup point guard either with a minimum contract or via the trade market. Patty Mills remains an incumbent Heat option among free agents. As things stand, the Heat would likely use Terry Rozier as the starter at point guard. Rozier can play off the ball, and frequently has done so in his career, but at 6'1", the point is his primary position. Mills, who is 35 and has played pro ball for 15 years, is a serviceable backup, having signed with the Heat on a minimum contract after he was waived by the Hawks last year. Miami Heat will sign DeAnthony Melton, report. According to Shams Charania of The Athletic, the Miami Heat plan to sign point guard DeAnthony Melton at their new flexible salary. The Miami Heat became eligible to use the $12.8 million non-taxpayer mid-level exception. They are expected to use it all at Melton. Melton, 26, is a defensive-minded point guard who has shot 36.9% from three for his career. Back issues limited him to 38 games for the 76ers last year, but he has historically been durable. The 6'2" Los Angeles native averaged 11.1 points, 3.0 assists, and 1.6 steals per game last year. Melton was injured during the 2022 playoffs against the Warriors when he was with the Grizzlies, the time he was spread out with. In that Western Conference semifinal, Melton averaged 7.8 points, 4.0 rebounds, 1.3 steals, and 0.8 blocks per game. With the Miami Heat, Melton should fit in as a backup buffer with the added skill. And you fan? What do you think of the situation of Anthony Melton? Leave your opinion in the comments.